Welcome to the Gyrl Podcast, the show where purpose meets inspiration. Each week, I sit down with incredible individuals who open up about their real life journeys, the wins, the setbacks, and the lessons in between. Whether you're navigating career moves, entrepreneurship, or personal growth, you're in the right place. I'm Kyra Mitchell Lewis, your host, and I'm so glad you're here. Let's glow up together. All right, happy Thursday, my friends. I hope everyone is doing well. I hope you're having a fantastic week. I'm really excited today about the guest I have. It is a guest who is local to my area here in Atlanta, and it is Councilwoman Carmalitha Gumbs. She is a dedicated public servant and passionate advocate for women, small businesses, and community growth in the city of South Fulton. Since being elected to the inaugural City Council in 2017, she's helped shape initiatives that drive economic development, support local entrepreneurs, and creates opportunities for residents to thrive. Carmalitha's leadership is rooted in service, collaboration, and purpose. And now, as a candidate for mayor of South Fulton, she's focused on building a future that uplifts every voice in our community. So let's go ahead and dive into today's show. All right, welcome back and welcome to Councilwoman Gumbs. Welcome to the show.
Hi, everybody, and thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here today.
Yes, I'm so excited as well. We're going to start by, just kind of talking about, we know this is an exciting time for you, and you are in the midst of your run for mayor of South Fulton.
Yes.
What I'd like to start with is what really inspired you to, make this run for mayor?
To make this run for mayor, I would say if anybody has been watching the news and the headlines here in the metro Atlanta area, you have seen a lot of stories and negative stories on the city of South Fulton. I've lived here and I've always wanted to live here for the past 18 years. I raised my daughter here, and I got a little political bug when I was working for an elected official in DeKalb County. We were going through our cityhood for the second time. And I went to a forum and I was looking at the candidates, and none of them, represented anything that I wanted to see in this great city. So I decided to run. I got a little bug in me, and I ran off a penny and a prayer, as I tell people. And I've been elected twice in this term because I believe in making sure that I'm responsive and doing right by the people. But just the negative energy that we had and surrounding our brand, this is where we purchased our homes. Our kids go to school here. We want to make sure that we have economic development, and we've gotten a bad rep, for the past 8 years, and it's time for change. So God spoke to me, and he ordered my steps, and I decided to run, and here I am running to be the next mayor, and God willing.
Yes.
Yep.
Awesome. I love that. And you're right. I mean, I think as someone who's lived in this area, gosh, I feel like I've been here so long now, but you're correct. If you're watching the news and you're just seeing everything like it was, I don't think people were enticed to come and live in
Yeah.
this area. And I remember I just always tell people, I'm like, no, it's such a cool area to live in. Like it's affordable and it's growing, and there are a lot of
Yes.
business owners, and there's just a lot happening. A lot of people are trying to do great things for the city, but you're right. Most times it's overshadowed by the negative stories.
Yes,
So
yes, yes.
yeah.
And many people don't know that we're the second largest city in Fulton County.
Yes.
We have over 115,000 residents, most affluent, most educated, highest home ownership, most undeveloped land south of I-20. So we have all of the right ingredients to get the things that we want and desire. We just need to have leadership at the top and start,
Mhm.
moving some things along.
Yes. Awesome. Well, let's talk a little bit about your journey into public service. So I
Okay.
know you just talked about what inspired you to make the run for mayor, but what inspired you to step into leadership as a whole?
As a whole, you don't see a lot of women, and women are highly judged in leadership roles.
Mhm.
So for me, it was extremely important to always make sure that I set the example. So anything that I'm doing in mentoring young ladies, whether it be in politics or even in corporate America, because I've been in corporate America for the past 25 years, and it has been tough to get in a room that is
Mhm.
predominantly male or predominantly white male, and being able to, as a female leader, you have to work twice as hard, and that has
Mhm.
always been challenging. I want people to be able to really hone in on what skills you bring to the table, and just because I'm a female, I shouldn't have to work as hard. So
Yeah.
those have been the things that I've always challenged around leadership, is making sure that women are positioning themselves properly, whether it's in the boardroom or whether it's in politics.
Mhm.
Just always making sure that they are front and center and taking that risk and not being afraid.
Yeah, I love that you said that because I think that's so important. It's so relatable because so many of the people listening to this show or watching us, are in corporate spaces and
Mhm.
are experiencing the having as a woman having to go like 10 times above and beyond the men in the room, or
Yeah.
having the skill sets and knowing the things but not feeling trusted. It's like, oh yeah,
Mhm.
okay, but I know you said this thing, but can you do it like five more times just to make sure
Exactly.
that
Yeah. And
you're
having to repeat yourself over and over again. Like I
yeah.
said it, and I don't know how many different ways I can say it.
Right.
I think that has always been, my biggest issue, is like you have to overprove yourself
Hmm.
in those spaces. And I want women to be comfortable and ready to just go and shine when they're in those type
Hmm.
of spaces and do what they
Hmm.
need to do.
And that's one of the things that I actually really love about you and what you stand for is that while, yes, you want to see businesses and entrepreneurs flourish, but you really have a sweet spot for women
Yeah.
and, making sure that women's voices are heard and that their stories are being told. So that,
Absolutely, because I've been there when I can tell you, in corporate America, it has been it's been a journey. And I would
Mhm.
say that I used to cry a lot. I was like, why? Why is it that I have to be passive on this? And I know I can do better than this person.
Right.
But as you continue through the path, you're learning and you get thicker skin. And that's even the same
Hmm.
within politics, because you always want to try to do your best, and I'm a sort of kind of overachiever, so it's a heavier weight when you're just trying to do more, but it's just
Yes.
part of the game, and it comes with growing up, but always being able to position yourself in the right way, um,
Hmm.
and
Yeah.
being able to pivot. Don't let people put you in a box. That's
Yes.
another thing too, is that I have been able to, all of my jobs that I've had, I've been able to kind of pivot and
Hmm.
take whatever skill set that I have learned in that particular role to make it work for me in another role. So
Hmm.
I always tell women, don't let people put you in a box, because you can do all things. So.
Yes. Oh,
Mhm,
I love that. So
mhm,
I'd like to talk about encouraging women. So we know, that there's a lack of women who especially get involved in like politics and government in our local communities. And I want
mhm.
people to really understand, like, people like to rally around like the larger elections, but it's like it's so important to start in your own communities and to step forward, into like just having a voice.
Yes.
What can you say around encouraging just the women who are listening to, get involved in their local communities and government?
Well, I think that's the first step with anything. I think local government, local politics impacts everybody, and I don't think people realize that. So I definitely believe that there is some room around educating people for them to really understand that local politics is what truly impacts your daily lives. So people need to get involved, and most people don't get involved until it's an issue that is burning for them, and then
Right.
they kind of get that bug. And that's the same thing that happened with me. I saw the cityhood movement, and I was not happy with the number of candidates that were running or the people that were running. So you wanted to make a change and make an impact. So if you have that desire to see better, I always tell people, step up. If nobody can speak the voice of you better than you. So I always
Mhm.
tell people that just kind of, stay encouraged and just, keep pushing. Now, one of the things I will say as women, especially in the role of politics, and if I can be completely transparent, it is
Please.
very hard to get other women to rally around you. So
Mm,
you have to build an ecosystem of good, positive women, because there's no friends in politics, to be honest.
right.
It
Mm,
is very cutthroat. And there have been some very, very lonely times as one, a political leader, but also to being a female political leader.
mhm.
It has been challenging. So I want women to know that it can be done. It'll take some, growth and strengthening, and being able to know who your people are, because
Mhm.
everyone is not always for you. So it can be very challenging. And like I said, very cutthroat for a lot of women, in that space.
Right. Yeah.
Hmm.
I'm so glad that I'm glad you mentioned that because I think a lot of times, people think about, I mean, like we do think about politics as being, kind of cutthroat, unfortunately. But I think too, it extends from even like those spaces of being in corporate, right? In
Yep.
corporate America, like you really have no, like as women, it's shocking to see that like you really don't have as many like people on your side as you think you do, because
Hmm.
we, no matter what type of leader you are, and as a person who like recently transitioned from corporate myself, it's like no matter how many people you try to help, no matter what
Yes.
type of mentorship or what you give to other people, there are still going to be people who are envious and
Hmm.
want to take you out. And
Yeah.
so I think that's such a fair point because I think anybody who works in a corporate space can certainly understand how it could be lonely for someone like you who has transitioned into politics, and you're just looking for your people, like
Yeah.
your people to rally around you and support you. And then it's like, yeah, you're right, you have women. I mean, I think if we take it back a year ago, I mean, I think we saw that a lot with the candidate we had in Kamala Harris,
Yes.
and
Yes.
how people were, you couldn't even get women to like rally around and support. It's like
Hmm.
these extra layers of things that she must do to prove to
Hmm.
me. So yeah, it's yeah, so that's still very sad to hear, but I'm so
It
glad
is.
that you rise above that and you
And it's
continue
it's
to.
reality. That's really reality, and that's what happened to me when I was in corporate America. Everybody tell you, you go to all of these business meetings, networking meetings, they tell you, oh, find your people,
Mhm,
and or find, other women. And it was really tough. And to
mhm,
be honest, a lot of the women that I went to seek mentorship or support from did not support me. And it was the white male that, helped me elevate throughout corporate America.
mhm,
And what I committed to myself is that I will not let any other female or black female go through anything like that. If they come to me and they ask me for support to help them, I will help them, because
mhm,
I understand what it was like to, try to find your tribe and can't really find it, and trying to
mhm.
make a way out of it. So for me,
Yeah.
that's been my biggest commitment, to take women alongside with me. And I want to continue that, whether it's
Mhm.
in corporate America or even in, local politics, is that I definitely believe that we have a space in this world. And I could talk all day about, the Kamala Harris, because I feel like the Kamala Harris effect is happening even in this local race with, the city of South Fulton.
Mhm.
Sometimes people are just not ready for female leadership, and that's
Right.
concerning, because it's a lot of females that are out there, and we always have to, pivot. And what it's just amazing that even in this time that we live in, that people are still not ready for women leaders. It's
Right.
just it's tough.
Yeah, exactly. I understand that. But I really appreciate that the collaboration and the mentorship that
Mhm.
you offer because it is so important and it's so needed, and especially just for people to know like what you mentioned is that I'm going to pull people alongside me. It's not like you're
Mhm.
like, I'm going to get to the top and then say whatever. Like,
Yeah,
you're going to consistently pour into other women. And that is really important. And that's so a big reason why, like, I want to have you here is because that is what this platform, this community of Glow Up Girl is all about. Like, there's a seat for everybody at the
absolutely.
table. Like
Mhm.
you just have to find the table for you. But like thumbing somebody else down or pushing some other person down, just stepping on somebody else is just not the way to go. I'm a firm
Absolutely.
believer that as a woman of faith, I'm like, no, no, because it will come back around. It will come back around on you. So
Yeah,
like
we're not
let's
in competition with each other. And what it is
exactly.
that we need to help each other. The more that we help each other, the more progressive we can be and get so many different things done
Hmm.
as a core group versus hating on one another or trying to pull each other
Exactly.
down.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Awesome. Well, let's talk a little bit about building this community in which we live in, which is South Fulton. So, like you
Okay.
mentioned, it is growing rapidly. And so, what is your vision around empowering small and women owned businesses as a part of that growth?
Well, one of the things that I really want to focus on is making sure that we put again women businesses or even just small businesses in places where they can grow and thrive. I do
Mhm.
believe that South Fulton right now has something sweet about it that there's opportunities for so many different women owned businesses or just business owners period. But I want to make sure that people know that and that we're pushing for that. We
Mhm.
have not been known as the most business friendly city. So
Mhm.
I want people to, really understand it, and we cultivate an area here that people want to come and do business in South Fulton, whether that be through incentives that we do, grants that we do, finding ways to continue to support women businesses. I know we had a female cigar bar here,
Mm.
and we had them apply for grants for support. It's a lot of women-owned businesses in South Fulton. I
Yeah.
love the cupcakes and all that good stuff too, but it's so many great businesses, but we need to make sure that we showcase and highlight them. One of the things once I become mayor is that I want to have something called South Fulton where you can be proud of, where we're actually going on a branding and marketing campaign, letting people know about these wonderful businesses that
Yes.
are in our city. So it's
Mhm.
going to take effort, but I think we can all work together. And these people that have businesses here will have their friends wanting to come do business in South Fulton as
Mhm.
well. So I think we can grow this system very fast, but we just got to make sure that we do the work and brand it properly.
Right. Yep. I agree. As a marketer, I definitely understand.
So you get it. You get it.
I definitely get it. Okay, so let's talk about purpose because I know for you, the way you lead and the way you've stepped into the opportunities that you have, they are about you leading with purpose. What
Mhm.
would you say that means to you personally?
Um, I think I'm passionate. I'm truly passionate. And what, when I say that I lead with purpose, I think about our future. I'm not thinking about just for right now. I'm thinking, how will my daughter be able to continue the legacy? How will other women business owners be able to, be able to thrive in the city? So I always am thinking about the future. How can we make it better and improving people's quality of life? So for me, I think, that's what leads me is because I care about people. I care about,
Mm-hmm.
the things that really matters the most, not just about, oh, I want to be in politics because of a title or a name
Right.
or,
Mm-hmm.
just something that doesn't matter. I think when you're in a space where you can help people, you can influence people, and you have a special opportunity to build, I think you have to think about the next people that come behind you, the generations
Mm-hmm.
that plan to come behind you. And I always think of my daughter. My daughter is my passion purpose.
Yeah.
I want her to be able to be proud of, her mother and, how she fought for her to have the
Mm-hmm.
things that she needs because I didn't necessarily have that growing up. I
Right.
didn't see women thriving. I didn't see,
Mm-hmm.
all of women leaders. Even though my mother was a nurse and was always helping, I didn't have
Mm-hmm.
that that whole nucleus of women leaders within
Right.
my community. So
Mhm.
I am very passionate about that, and that's my, my passion point. I want to lead for the future.
Yes, I love that because I think that is something that's really important. That's something that I've seen you in like content and seeing when you're speaking that you
Hmm.
do always talk about improving the quality of life for people. And I
Yeah, we
think
deserve
that's
it. We
yes.
deserve it.
Yes,
We
and that's
deserve
something that I think people forget about is like no, it's about the people first. And it's
it.
like
It is.
people want to thrive. Like no matter where they live, they want to be happy and they want to live happy and healthy lives. And I
Kyra,
think,
hold on one
okay,
second. I have to plug my computer up. I hope people,
okay.
if they watch it, this is important. Gotta plug my computer up so it don't die. All right, here we go. I'm back.
All right.
Okay, that was quick. Sorry.
Yes, yes, no, all good, all good. But I think that's really important. That's something that really stands out because I feel like a lot of people, like one of the things I know that you were instrumental in is something that we take advantage of all the time. It's the dog park.
Oh, yes.
And there was nowhere before because my husband and I, we have a fur baby. Our baby is a fur baby, Max, as
Yes.
people know here. But we didn't have a place, to go if we wanted to take him somewhere to go, like be in community with other animals.
Yeah.
And so it was really cool. And I was like, oh, this is awesome. Like these are the
Yeah.
types of things that we, want to see in our community. And I love what you're saying because like I'm picking up exactly what you're saying when you talk about making South Fulton. Like to me, it is a little gym where it's like you see this little place where there are cute little pop-up shops, there's shops and
Yes.
all this like people just like having, coffee shops and people hanging out together and doing like fun things. And that's what I hope the future is for,
Yeah.
for our city. And when you say, and that to me equates to like quality of life. It's people having
Hmm.
places to go within their own areas. It's people having walkable places to go
Yes.
where they
Yes.
can hang out and where they can communicate where people because I think a lot of times people forget and this is it's a little off topic but I think it connects to what I think you want to do here in the city. A lot of people are still very lonely. A
Mm.
lot of people do not have community and a lot of people are don't know how to make friends. They don't know how to
Yes.
find people. And I think like a city who creates that atmosphere and that place for them. And I've seen it, we've had these things popping up across South Fulton where it's like those first night Friday thing, like different events that you've been a part of that where
Yeah.
you see that you're trying to create that for people. And so to me, I'm like, just imagine like if she becomes like the leader, like how much better, this can be for our city. Like it could be almost like a destination for people that live
Yes.
in Atlanta or Cobb and all these other cities to drive into for the day and hang out.
Yeah. Well, and that's what I want. I want people to, and even though it's a dog park and it's a small amenity, I feel like people will come together that
Yeah.
have common interests. Like we want
Yes.
to bring our fur babies, and then we start talking, and then they have play dates. It's
Yes.
that type of community that I've always dreamed of. I
Hmm.
think we've gotten away from that because growing up, everybody in the neighborhood knew everybody. And if you
Hmm.
got in trouble, one person already knew. They beat and called your mother before you got home. We don't have that anymore. We're such
No.
busy humans that
Yeah.
we just drive into our driveways, put up the garage and put it back down, and then we don't come
Hmm.
back out. So for me, I want to see people talking to each other. I want to see people walking
Hmm.
up and down their sidewalks and, doing their little exercise or even having, somebody had a parking lot party where they just, invited all their neighbors and they just came
Hmm.
and they had, their little lawn chairs and they got to know each other. It's that type of community that I think is important about building because that way you can just
Hmm.
kind of connect and on
Right.
issues that even with local politics that are important, you can connect on those things. So
Exactly.
that's what I'm
Yes.
looking forward to.
I love that. And yeah, I'm definitely on board. And you're so right. Like people are so I look in my neighborhood a lot of times and it's like it's not like the biggest neighborhood. We have a pretty like probably like 50 houses in this community, but people are like, oh, I don't know that person, or I don't know this
Mm-hmm.
person. And like,
Mm-hmm.
we were one of the first, like, we were actually the first family to move into our neighborhood. And it's like, but you know, it kind of happened like over COVID, right? And people lost touch because COVID happened. And so, yeah, it's just finding those ways for community and connection. And I think that's
Yes.
what South Fulton can be. All
Yes.
right. All right. All right. So let's talk about, tell me, actually, what we're going to do now is I'm going to roll into this three things with Carmelita. Going to ask you some questions that just helps
Okay.
people get to know you even on like a more personal level.
Okay.
The first one is a two-parter. It's how do you start and end your day?
Oh, wow. Okay. So I start my day by reading Proverbs, listening to it off of YouTube. Proverbs, I think right now I'm starting a chapter over. So I'm like in Proverbs 20, 21, 22. I do it on the day of the
Okay.
month. So,
Okay.
um, but that's how I start my day. I love music. Music is a mood for me. And
Mm-hmm.
depending on my mood and what I got going on, I might listen to some trap music. I might listen to some gospel. But at the end of the day, music is, I guess, the soothing part that I try to connect with to calm, my spirit.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm usually listening to music and getting my day started after I read my Bible verses, right?
Nice.
And how I end my night, I do pray.
Mm-hmm.
I think about the day and try to recap and say, what could I have done differently? But other than that, I'm usually probably up all night that the next day runs into the next day. So I don't really know what the evening is. But that's usually what happens. And I just fall off and go to sleep.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Awesome. All right. The second question is, what is an intention or an affirmation guiding you right now?
Mm. An intention that is really guiding me right now is there's so many. I'm intentional on treating people right. I'm
Mhm.
intentional because what I've learned is that not that I've never treated anyone wrong, but what I want to make sure is that I'm being intentional about the relationships that I build and that they're viable and they're worth the energy. I hate to say it like that, but
No, that's so true.
as you get older, you think about your time and
Mhm.
being able to capitalize on that time that you have. And for me, right now, I'm intentional about relationships that I build,
Mhm.
um, intentional about how I love people. And
Mhm.
I think that's important because that helps me build my character of who I am. So intentionality on love is probably the biggest thing for me. Loving
Awesome.
people
Love
and
that.
relationships. Yep.
Awesome. All right. And last is, where are you currently finding inspiration?
Ooh. So I am reading 107, which
Me
is
too.
Kamala Harris' book. So I've been
Hmm.
reading that, and I've had little cry spells. I've had like really, oh, I'm gonna get him type of moments. Yet it's really a good book that makes you sit back and reflect. So
Hmm.
that's right now where I'm finding inspiration. I'm learning to center myself because my life is so busy, and
Hmm.
I'm learning that some things I do need to say no to. Everything cannot have Carmelita at it. Um, and I think that is one thing that I'm trying to make sure I'm getting better at because I'm only one person.
Hmm.
So for me, but that's where I'm finding the inspiration, learning to say no. But that book, 107, is a game changer for me, especially in the space right now that I'm in.
For sure. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, for
Hmm.
sure. Yes. Yeah, I'm reading that. I've chosen to take it as a slow read, because
Uh-huh.
I know people are like, "Oh, I read it in 2 days," and I feel like I could have literally just sat and read it in like a day. But
Yeah.
I've been really intentional about like reading it slowly because it's a ride. It's a
It
real
is.
ride, and
It is.
it's really good to try to understand, like, you get her viewpoint, where I think
Mhm.
like people, whether you were a supporter of hers or not, like, I think reading that book and sort of putting yourself into someone else's shoes. Like, I think it's a great read for women.
Yes, I agree.
All right. So as we get ready to round out here, as we approach election day,
Hmm.
tell us, why are you the right leader for South Fulton at this time?
Well, I think one is that we have to set the tone. I have been on that council since the very beginning. And I think what is very critical and what I tell people that's important is that you have to have some level of continuity. This is not a job that you can just wake up overnight and say, hey, I'm going to be mayor, right? I'm going to be mayor of the second largest city in Fulton County. I may not know how much the budget is. I may not know what projects are happening, but I'm going to be mayor. That, does not make sense. And what we have to do as, educated voters is to understand that, experience matters, leadership matters, and you got to get the right people in play because this election is super critical because we've had such a negative connotation. And you want people to take us seriously. You got to get somebody that's willing to focus on rebranding South Fulton. And I think I offer that, especially with the experience and the continuity of being on the council. I think that's important. So I want voters to know that I'm not going to embarrass them because I don't want to embarrass myself. But what I will do is focusing on making sure that South Fulton is that shining star that I believe it is, and that I believe that other residents believe it is. So that's my focus, and that's why I feel like people should vote for me. I'm very transparent, believe it or not. I talk to people. I'm a people person, and I want people to be a part of the process and not listen to the loud noisemakers because South Fulton has so many great things happening, but you wouldn't know it because the noisemakers are out there, or the news clips or the media clips are out there, and it makes us look like that's not who we are, is what I want people to know. That's not who we are. And we have a real unique opportunity at this point in time to take South Fulton to the next level. It's time to start acting like a big city. It's time. And
Yes,
you got to get
yes.
leaders that are ready to take it to the next level. And I think I'm that leader. So,
Oh, fantastic. Well,
ma'am.
we are going to gonna I'm leave it right there because that was a great answer. And I think like everybody listening and watching out there, we have heard from a phenomenal woman here today, a great leader, and somebody who, like, one thing I really like, you said I'm very transparent, and that is what we need in our leadership.
Yeah.
And I think I've been so fortunate and blessed to have you sit beside me today
Yes.
virtually and
I love it.
tell this story here today. So thank you so much again for your time. I really appreciate it.
No, this is exciting for me. And whatever it is that I can help you with, whether it's within the city of South Fulton or just in corporate or anything, I would love to do that because, again, I believe in women leaders. So, whatever I can do to help, just let me know. I'm here.
Awesome. Awesome. All right. Stay tuned, everyone. All right. Welcome back. Okay. I just want to thank Councilwoman Gumbs again for joining the show today. If you would like to learn more about her and the work that she is doing, you can check out the links in the show notes. If you'd like to learn more about Glow Up Girl, you can sign up for our newsletter. Get tools, insights, and inspiration for your own glow up journeys at glowupgirl.com. Also, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are at Glow Up Girl. And wherever you're listening, don't forget to rate, review, and share. It helps more women to find the show. And if you're sharing on social, make sure you tag us so we can amplify and cheer you on. All right. If you are ready to tell your own personal story on a podcast or on a speaker stage or or a book or whatever, make sure you check out Story Labs. If you're thinking to myself, I know I have a story, I have a great story to tell, but I'm not really sure of how to pull that all together, I offer an hour and a half session where we will talk. I will listen. You will tell your story in 3 parts. I will help you to craft what that polished pitch looks like for you when you get ready to go out into the world, whether it's, like I said, if it's on your website, if it's on pitching for podcast, or if it's pitching for a speaker for an event, you can check out Story Labs at glowupgirl.com as well. Also, for any of my creatives, you can visit Studio Wonderwell at hellowonderwell.com to explore some custom marketing systems and strategies that I can help you with to help you with your next big move. And hey, if you're a brand out there and you're looking to partner with us, we are accepting sponsorship. So reach out at hello@glowupgirl.com. All right. Thanks again, everyone, for spending part of your day with me. I will see you all next week. So until then, stay focused, fab, and glow up. Take care, everyone.